If you have any history of having a spinal fusion surgery, you're scared to train your core, or the core exercises that you're doing now are causing tightness, tension, and pain, today's video is for you. I'm be covering 4 of my favorite core exercises, creating the perfect core workout that is fusion friendly. Now, if you raised your hand when I was talking about how core training could be potentially causing you pain, or you're afraid of what core exercises you should pick post-fusion, you've got to go get my free core training blueprint. You can get that at fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. Very simple. I give you all of the core training advice, tips, and strategies that are perfect for you, that teaches you what exercises you should pick, what you should do if these exercises are causing pain, how to progress, how to dial things back to fit you perfectly. You're gonna wanna get it. This workout you're gonna be applying today is perfect. That core blueprint is going to make it even better. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. First exercise we're going through is the side plank with leg raise. Love this exercise. It's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. You're actually working the stability in the trunk as a whole, but you're also incorporating the glutes and the hips at the same time. We're gonna go easiest to hardest to make this kind of simple. Key thing at first when it comes to spinal fusion is making sure you're getting in and out of the exercise smoothly. You're not trying to slam out here. You're not in between sets, resting, doing this. Keep a conscious effort on keeping your body in a good position, especially with the fusion. So when you're going into the most easiest version of this exercise is you're gonna have your knees stacked. My hips are slightly back, so I'm not super rigid. It's not a straight line from my head to my knee. I kind of have my knee in front of me and my hips back. Why that is because what I want to do when I get in this position, instead of just kind of like slamming up into it this way and kind of doing this little like fish flopping type of thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to brace my abs, quick breath out, and I'm going to step forward with my hip. So now I'm in this good position. When I'm done, I'm going to step back and rest. Okay, then you can kind of lift yourself up. That's the simplest version of that. Now we're gonna add the leg raise to it. So I'm gonna step forward. I've had my quick breath out and nice and braced here, and I'm going to raise that top leg. As soon as you bring this leg up, you should feel it in that right hip or whatever hip you're working on. It should really be firing that. You wanna keep a good neutral position here and hold it for the time that you're going for. Now, to make this harder, same idea. I'm gonna have my feet, you can have them staggered. Some people like stacking them. Go with what feels best for you. Same idea as best you can. Be mindful of where your spine's at. I'm gonna go into this exercise here. Now when you're doing the leg raise, if you're just doing the side plank, this is good here. Doing the actual leg raise with it, I like to personally stack my feet. So when I raise my leg, I'm just going straight up with it. I'm gonna hold that for the desired amount of time, come back down. Sometimes I'll just hold it for the whole time, or I'll do kind of repetitions throughout one set. Here, come back down, coming out of the exercise nice and slow, and you should be good. Second exercise in this fusion-friendly core workout is the plank Z-pulls. Lots of stuff going on. You're combining a plank, you're combining some kind of like chaotic movement, all while trying to keep that endurance and keep that stability intact without kind of causing any issues. So, key thing here is obviously making sure that you are doing the front plank correctly. You're doing a straight arm front plank. So the first thing, just going through that, I wanna make sure you have that locked in. The further your feet are out, the more stability you're gonna have. Okay, so I suggest you do that. You can start easy on your knees as far as the front plank goes. Now, adding the chaotic movement, what you're doing is you're gonna grab a weight, and I'm essentially gonna draw a Z on the floor, and then a backward Z. But what I'm doing is I have my dumbbell in a good place here. We'll start with the easiest version of this. I'm in my front plank, quick breath out, nice and braced, pelvic floor is on. I'm still breathing, I'm just breathing into the base of my ribs. I'm gonna lift off, grab that weight, and I'm gonna drag it as far as I can reach. Not as far as I can push it, because you don't wanna go too far. Reach under, drag it as far as you can pull it. Reach under, drag it, boom. Then you're gonna switch it back and go back the full way. Now the hardest version of this is just a full front plank like this, okay? The narrower the stance are, the harder it's gonna be. But I'll start here, push it out, get ready, quick breath out, pull, slow transitions. My hips aren't moving. None of this. Nice and tight. I'm going to keep going back and forth. Again, the most important part are the transitions, not allowing your body to shift and move too much during the exercise. Highly suggest you start small, build up, don't do too many reps, and stay under any kind of pain threshold you might be experiencing. Third exercise is the hollow holds. Now, I define these a little bit differently. If you Googled hollow hold, you'll probably see a few different variations of this. I want you to do my variation of this, especially if you've had any kind of fusion. Key thing to remember is go off of comfort. Don't watch this version of this and be like, okay, I'm gonna do it exactly the way he does it. Think about how your body responds. If you need more padding, if you wanna try this on a bed or a soft carpet, not a hard gym floor, experiment with what fits your specific situation best. And then make decisions on whether you wanna go harder or easier from there, okay? All right, so getting set up in this position, what you wanna do is let's start with the easiest version of this, which is really important. So it's gonna look similar to a dead bug. I want you to get your pelvis in a neutral to you position, which means we're not trying to slam our low backs into the floor. That's not always the goal when it comes to core bracing. We want to find what feels good in our pelvis and our lower back, and then pull the pelvic floor in, right? And before you start moving, quick breath out. And that should lock everything in and cause a nice barrel effect with your actual core brace. Now from there, we're gonna bring one leg up, bring the other up, making sure everything's nice and tight. And we're gonna start here. See how this feels. The next step from here, what you're gonna do is you're going to bring your legs out some and your arms out some. So this is the easiest version of this, and you should already feel your core starting to have to work in this position. And then obviously, the further out you go, the harder it gets. Now you can change this up to where you're just doing your feet, or you can do this to where you are holding a weight above your head and then pulling your arms above your head. What that's doing is if you put a weight in your hand, with these exercises, what you want to do is not have this rib flare. So when you're kind of coming out and your arms are coming here, you don't want your low back to arch and your ribs to flare out. You're losing that core brace that you want. We have to push our ribs down, lock that in, then to challenge that, and you can go as heavy as you want with this. If you're stronger than 15 pounds, go for it. So we're gonna bring this over our head, and the more we bring this over our head, the more our abs up here and our core has to turn on and keep everything nice and locked in. So you can hold here to make it even harder. You can bring your legs out, but don't sacrifice good control, good core brace for just being really cool and being able to do something like this. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Work up to that, start small, add in the weight if you want to. That is an awesome core exercise. Fourth and final core exercise to round off this perfect fusion-friendly core workout is the farmer's carry. Now, there are lots and lots of different ways that you can do the farmer's carry. I personally want to suggest to you that you do this single arm farmer's carry. You reduce the amount of weight that you're going to be able to use, and it really kind of forces you to engage one side of the body versus just grabbing two really heavy objects and kind of causing that compression on both sides of the body. I just don't prefer people to do that. I'd rather you kind of dial things back and find ways to not have to use so much weight, but also get a really effective work out of the exercise that you're doing. So I say single arm carry. Now, what you're gonna do is you'll grab whatever weight you want to use. I do suggest that you go heavier than what you think you can handle. This is not a 10 pound, 15 pound, 20, 25 pound type of exercise. Go a little bit heavier depending on your fitness level, so just challenge yourself. The single arm farmer's carry is basically what it is. You're going to have a single arm holding some kind of weighted object, and you're simply going to walk. Okay. Now there's different ways that you can do this. The way that I want you to do is slow and controlled. So what that looks like is I'll have my weight on one side. I'm going to keep myself as balanced and as stacked as nicely as possible. Quick breath out, ribs down, and I'm going to walk nice and slow and controlled. Okay. It's really easy when you don't force yourself to really slow down and pay attention to your transitions, to for you to just kind of get into the position and you're just like this. But then you're switching your hips and you're moving around and things are getting kind of weird. Go slow. Grab your weight, whether you want to hold it up here. If you had kettlebells in your hand, you can rack those. You can even do single arm farmer's carries where you have one arm above your head here and you're doing them just like that. That's a whole nother ball game when it comes to what you're working. But it's still the same thing, and I want you to explore whichever way fits you and what's fun to you. Show you one more time. I'm gonna have my weight in hand, show you from the front. Have my weight in hand, picking up nice and slow. What I like to do when I'm walking is I'll take my non-weighted hand and I'll engage my lats. So you can come out and do this, you can do this, you can do this, whatever you want to do, engage your lats so both sides of the body are actually engaged. Nice and slow, stepping out. Remember to go heavy, keep control, not rocking back and forth, and I got my full body working at the same time. Farmer's carries, play around with which option or variation you want to do, explore it, but also have fun. So that is it. That is the 4 exercises that I would pick if you have a spinal fusion. You're like, man, what is the best core workout that I can do right now? That would be it. Make sure you change up the reps and sets over time. Give yourself some variety. Stay under your pain threshold. If anything starts to happen, you feel weird, you feel twinge, you feel crampy, achy, slow down, dial things back. It's best to finish your workout leaving some reps in the tank, your RPE, the how intense your workout or how intense that set is going. It's better to err on the side of, I probably could have done 2 or 3 more, maybe, because your body's gonna thank you for it. You're not gonna be over expended, using too much energy, blowing yourself out in every workout. You don't want that. Take it easy, have fun, and let me know which one of these is your favorite. If you haven't gotten it already, be sure to grab that free guide. You can get it at fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. It'll give you everything you need to take this workout you did today and just blow it up and multiply it over and over and over again with all the core training exercises that you should actually be doing that are safe for you. Go grab that, fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint.